Welcome to the GLHF YouTube channel, and today we're talking about the PS5 Pro, which both me and Kirk McKeon have got our hands on, and there's many things to think about and talk about. We're going to start right at the top of the experience, which is getting it out of the box. Kirk, how you feel about it?
Well, I got it out of the box, so that was good. I held it upside down, you know, as you do when you're doing things to camera. I think it's just a much nicer visual design. If you don't have the disc drive attached, it's symmetrical. It fits in your entertainment system better. It's smaller. It looks a lot nicer. The only thing I'm not too sure about is there's no USB-A on the front of the machine, right? And I think there was on the original PS5, right? Yeah. So that is a bit of an issue. Like, it just makes it a little bit awkward to put like the VR in and that sort of thing if you do take it in and out. But yeah, other than that, I can't really complain. It's nice having two USB-Cs on the front. I will say that. I think the visual design is a big step up from the original PS5, which was really ugly.
I have been trying to deal with it myself, where I'm like, did I get used to how the PS5 looks over time, or is this a big improvement? And I'm really not sure. I do feel like the fins at the sides of the PS5 Pro console help break up the just. I don't know how to describe the shape of the original PS5, but the fact that it's got the little black fins on the sides help break it up into like 4 panels, and I think that makes it look more visually appealing.
I think the shape is like if you asked a 3-year-old to draw a rectangle without a ruler.
Yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? It's something like that. And I'm not sure about how I feel about the weird collar fins at the top still, but they feel less pronounced, and as a result, it doesn't seem to bother me as much.
I think it's the only console that would look good in a bow tie. I'll give it that.
yeah, that's pretty good. I'm pretty eager to get like some third-party plates or something, to be perfectly honest. But I do think it's an improved look. And the USB-A port on the front, that's an issue for me as well, because I use a lot of arcade stick controllers and they all use USB-A. So I've got either like 2 USB-A to C converters just like hovering around now. I'm not sure if I can get like a USB multi-port thing for that USB-A port of the pack or something. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I got to work around that, which is slightly annoying, but it's pretty minor, to be honest. How are we feeling about the experience of plugging it in and just seeing it for the first time? Is it fancy?
Well, it's got a new startup like graphics thing, which, you know, makes it feel a bit flashy, and then, you know, once you're actually into the ecosystem of that, it doesn't feel much different. Obviously, the UI was 4K anyway. It all looked nice on the PS5 base. The only difference is obviously the options that you get in the options menu, if you want to just go over those quickly. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, so now we've got a few more interesting features. So the enhanced PS4 game mode, or PS4 enhanced. What is the exact wording of this?
It's a good question.
Hold on, let me get this up. It's PS4 image enhancement. PS4 image enhancement is an all-new feature, and that offers smoothing for your PS4 games, specifically the ones that run at 1080p or below, to make them a little bit more appealing on a 4K screen. And that's appreciated, but not necessarily life-changing, but it's a feature.
Yeah, I've tried a couple of PS4 games. It's not something that you really notice that much. I mean, in text, you do see like sharper lettering and stuff like that. I believe it's just a filter, so it's not going to change the world. But then there's some games that came out at the end of last gen. Like I played Grip, and it just looks like a PS4 game. Like there's no difference. It's still quite blurry in the backgrounds and stuff. It's not going to change the way you play them. And PC is still probably the best place to play old games that are available on PC.
Yeah, absolutely. I booted up Ultra Street Fighter 4 because I was struggling to think of PS4 games I had downloaded and installed, which were also old enough to benefit from the PS4 image enhancement. And the text, the UI text, it looks so much sharper. It really does. I was like, okay, yeah, that's sharp image text. So, Kirk, does it feel like a new console?
Not really. I think for those who are like really in the weeds of video games and they want to play all the latest stuff all the time, obviously this is the best place on console to do it. if you're bothered about visual fidelity at all. And obviously, for PS exclusive games, they're gonna take advantage of the machine. You know, you're gonna wait until the next Insomniac game comes out, for example. You're gonna get all the best ray tracing options on PS5 Pro and stuff, and with fewer compromises as well. You'll still be able to run at a higher frame rate. I mean, however you feel about it, that last Ratchet and Clank game, even on base PS5, they had like so many graphics options on that game. You could have ray traced with performance even, and that would be like 40 FPS, I think, with ray tracing, and it looked really good. And I'm imagining those options will be even more expanded. So when the new Wolverine game comes out, it'll look incredible, I'm sure. But unless you're like willing to spend £700 on a machine that's a slight upgrade and more of a future-proofing thing, like I was talking about GTA 6 the other day, no doubt that'll come out on consoles first, so PS5 Pro will be the best place to play it because you'll be able to look at it in higher resolution. But other than, if you don't care about that sentence, then it's probably not for you.
Yeah. I also keep thinking that like the PS5 obviously supports HDMI 2.1, so it outputs on TVs. It can do 4K, 120 hertz, HDR, VRR capable, you know, all of that through one HDMI cable, which is the future, absolutely. But if you don't have a TV which supports all of those features, then the PS5 Pro is an even more questionable upgrade, because from the testing I've done from the games I've played, it feels like I'm there like, oh yeah, this is finally taking advantage of those features, because if 120 FPS mode was turned on for like Call of Duty, for example, it definitely wasn't looking 4K. You know, it might be outputting a 4K image, but it's like upscaled and quite low res internally. We're definitely getting closer to like that legit PC-like experience with a lot of those games. It's still not quite there, and if you don't have a TV which takes advantage of those features, you're almost certainly not going to see it. It's going to be like a super minor upgrade if you're on like a 1440p screen or a 1080p TV. It's going to be...
That's the thing as well, Dave, because I actually know people in real life who have PS5s or Xbox Series X's, and they have a 1080p TV. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm like, why? Why have you done this? Like, you're not taking advantage of it. And they just don't know what I'm talking about. So like the layman or the person who doesn't like go into the weeds just won't even know that, I guess. Mm-hmm. And you need £1,000 TV. That's what you need. So it's not even just the £700 console investment. Like my TV's at OLED LG C something or other that does 120 BRR and all that. So for me, you know, it's worth it. But again, it depends on what's in your household, because you don't want to buy that console for that much money and then realise, oh shit, I need a better TV. That's a nightmare scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. No, a bunch of the games I was playing, like I played Assassin's Creed Mirage, and that one doesn't have any like performance settings, which is I honestly think that's nice. It's just running as it should be. It's I'm pretty sure it's 60 FPS locked from what I could see. I used the little VRR frame counter on my TV to get estimates. It looks 60 FPS locked. It's smooth. It looks high res. I'm not going to pixel count it, but like, if I didn't know that was a PS5 Pro enhanced game, I wouldn't have been able to tell. You wouldn't have been able to get that information out of me. For all I know, it could have been like a 1440p upscaled, and the game was like really, really well optimized. And that's kind of the issue, because like the games definitely look great, but again, either to the layman or someone that just doesn't know what specific details to look at, it just looks good still. And I think if you put the PS5 and the PS5 Pro next to each other, in most situations, it's still fine.
You said as well, didn't you, that one of your friends actually thought that it would just choose the graphics mode for you, right? Because they pitched it as like the no compromise console, where you don't have to choose between performance or graphics. But you kind of do still, because every game has like 2 or 3 modes other than Assassin's Creed. Like Horizon has 3 modes, I think. It's balanced, like Pro and then performance or whatever. And I hope that eventually developers land on some sort of agreed terminology for this stuff as well, because they're all called something different. They all do different things. And I kind of do wish that it was just, here is the best. It just toggles it on. Here's the one that you want to choose. I don't need all those options. Just give me the one that gives me 60 FPS locked or higher. I think it should just give you unlocked frame rate and the highest resolution that you can get with that. Basically, I don't think you should have to faff around with modes anymore if it's a no compromise console, because it kind of feels like you're still compromising.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I feel like if I hadn't already played PC games and roughly gotten the gist over the years of like what settings to tweak to get performance and stuff and what things actually mean. Once upon a time you asked me about chromatic aberration, I don't know what the hell you are talking about. And even now I'm like, you'd have to show me a side by side, like, oh right, yeah, okay, that's the one. So yeah, no, I completely agree. If I didn't know what half those features were when I'm messing about with, say, Resident Evil 4, it has unique hair strands options, it has the frame rate mode, the resolution mode, it has ray tracing option, and then other games would be like, here's fidelity and performance, or here's frame rate and quality, or here is, I think Stellar Blade has I think it had the performance, quality, and balanced or something like that, and adds Pro and Pro Max on top of those. Which is absurd.
Isn't Pro Max the worst one out of the two as well?
Yeah, so Pro Max runs slightly worse. It runs at native 4K, but it from Digital Foundry and others, if they say that it doesn't look quite as good. To my eye, I don't quite know. I need glasses clearly, but yeah.
I think it's most pronounced in Alan Wake 2 as well, because that when you do the quality mode on that, it comes with like a bunch of ray tracing features. It doesn't quite make that clear either. Like if you didn't know that, you probably wouldn't know if you didn't know about ray tracing and stuff, and it tanks performance quite substantially. So I noticed when you try to dodge in that game on quality mode, there's almost a missing frame there. Like you kind of stutter, and then if you switch it over, it feels way smoother. I'm like, it's still unplayable in quality mode, in my opinion.
Yeah. I played almost all of Alan Wake. I played all of Alan Wake 2 on performance mode on the base machine, and the whole time I was like, this is playable, but it's not good. You know, it's not the good turnout. And yeah, on PS5 Pro, it's all improved, but it doesn't feel ideal. It really doesn't. It doesn't feel like the high-end PC experience, either with the ray tracing or just in the performance mode. It is an improvement, but you know, I feel like it might be the most disappointing PS5 Pro enhanced game that I've played so far.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, which is a shame as well, because Control was such a showcase of ray tracing across consoles and PC when you could have it on. So to see this have subpart ray tracing is a bit.
It's a little disappointing, yeah. But it is a great game, and they've given it a lot of updates since it originally released, so I'm hopeful it will continue to get updates, and maybe PS5 Pro games will be fantastic then on. It does seem to be there does seem to be a trend where Sony's first-party games are super high quality right now on PS5 Pro, and third-party games maybe less so. I do think Resident Evil 4 looks fantastic with all the settings turned up, but there's a few areas where it's oh yeah, that you can tell it's being upscaled, or it's a little bit weird when there's smoke coming out of the chimney. I can see the chimneys shimmering where nothing else in the image is. But then on The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, and from your experience, from what I've heard of Horizon Forbidden West, it seems like those Sony first-party games are just immaculate, basically.
Yeah, and when the next Naughty Dog game or Insomniac game comes around, it's going to look incredible, I'm sure. So I'm sure we'll see the full impact of it then, because they're probably building those games with this console in mind, whereas this is all, an afterthought.
Yeah, and I agree on what you said about Ratchet & Clank already looking great on the base machine, because I did just play one mission of Spider-Man 2. I was only 5 hours into the game apparently, so I picked it up and did one mission where Black Cat goes to Paris at the end, if you remember that. And I was like, I think this looks better, but honestly, it looks so good on base PS5 that I don't know. I'm not sure it actually looked that much better, because it was just so good originally. And yeah, if you're on an older TV, you're not going to notice that difference at all, I don't think.
There'll be some absolute animal out there that's bought a PS5 Pro and they're running it on a 1080p screen, I'm telling you.
Yeah, almost certainly. Almost certainly. How do you feel about the disc drive being sold separately? How's that affecting you?
Well, I had a disc drive PS5 anyway, and I never used the disc drive once, so for me it's fine. I'm sure for people with bad internet it's not fine, but yeah, I don't personally care.
Yeah, that's fine. I like having a physical collection myself. My friend that did buy the PS5 Pro is having a debacle because he didn't foresee the disc drive shortages, and he already has like quite a large collection of PS4 and PS5 games. Like he was telling me that he was interested in paying the upgrade to get the Horizon remaster or remake. Remaster? Yeah, remaster. Because you can pay a tenner upgrade if you got the original disc. And he can't put that original disc in because he got the PS5 Pro and he doesn't have a disc drive with it. So, and he's attempted to go the scalping route. I'm trying to convince him to buy an eBay PS5 Slim with a disc drive and then sell that on eBay after taking the disc drive out, trying to get him a discount. But yeah, no, I feel like it's really interesting that Sony. It does feel like they're pushing people towards a digital ecosystem. I mean, this whole gen feels like they have done, but this feels like a final push because those disc drives didn't get restocked along with the PS5 Pro, which is a disappointment.
Yeah, and I will say as well, like looking at the prices on the PS Store, yeah, I understand why people, you know, who don't do this for a living and get sent games and stuff would care, because you're paying like 70 quid for an old game like from like 3 years ago. Whereas if you go down to CEX or whatever, you can pick it up for a tenner. So yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that Jedi Survivor when I was testing it out. I saw that was £70 on the store, PSN store, and then I know for a fact you can get it for about half that if you went into like a retail shop near me.
Yeah, so, the prices on that store are insane. They really are.
Yeah, but again, we're in a position where many of the games we play are digital because of the position we're in. So. No, it doesn't affect us too much, but I feel like it's short-sighted by Sony for not at least restocking those disc drives for a little while. But
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite experience on it so far? Is it just Horizon, or?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't love that game that much, but like visually, yeah, it looks stunning. But I'm waiting for new stuff. I want to see what new games look like on it. Really, that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I'm eager to hear what you think of Dragon Age: The Veilguard, because, like, I know you said that it would look blurry in performance mode on the base console. I think it's improved, but I'd be interested to see if that's good enough for you.
Yeah, because I ended up switching to quality for that game because I just couldn't take it anymore. So
yeah.
But that means I have to play Dragon Age: The Veilguard again. That's the problem.
Oh, well, you know, you can. I saw that it let me pick up from my save just before you speak to Morrigan, like the final decision. So I was like, maybe I should go back and actually do all the companion quests. But I was like, no, I don't want to.
I did all that though, Dave. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. Other than GTA 6, what games are you looking forward to?
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Monster Hunter is top of my list too. Obviously, Assassin's Creed. What is it called? Shadows. That's also going to be really good on PS5 Pro, I think.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed's going to be great, I'm sure, when they eventually finish making it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure that'll be a graphical showcase as well. The first game looks really good. And then, I mean, next year is... Most of it's TBC, right? But Metal Gear Solid 3, Atomfall looks good. That's the new game from the Sniper Elite devs, which is like a Fallout-y kind of wasteland shooter, which is interesting. And GTA 6, Judas, the new Bioshock. I'm interested to see what that's like. And obviously Ghost of Yotei will look incredible. I just hope that they've learned the lessons from the repeated side content of the first game and stuff like that, because that game was like mechanically sound. It was just really dull mission designs that dragged it down. So if they can fix that for the second game, I'm sure it'll be really good. Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the only other things I want to mention about the console is that one nice feature, you can easily change the I believe it's a CMOS battery. There's a new compartment on just underneath one of the panels where you can change the motherboard battery, and that will allow you to keep your games alive after the servers go down. You can keep your digital game licenses, and that was something that fans complained about mildly with the PS5 and PS5 Slim, and now they fixed that with the Pro. So that's nice. That's nice. And also 2TB internal drive over the original base consoles, like 600 and something gigabytes. And that's nice to have. I had a double surprise with that, because I had the 2TB drive and I was like, oh, I didn't realise. That's nice. And then I moved my SSD and that was 2TB as well, and I thought it was one. So I was like, yes, we live in.
Yeah, exactly. I have the SSD 2 TB of the internal 2 TB, and then I have a 1 TB USB SSD that I keep my PS4 games on. So I got like 5 TB of gaming power now. So you shouldn't hear me complain about downloads being too large anymore. Hopefully.
Yeah, unless you have to review the next Call of Duty.
Yeah. That was only like 146 GB this time. You know, it's because they're streaming in the textures now.
They should stream more textures in. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolute madness. Okay, I think that covers everything. Anything you want to talk about now? No. All right, good. PS5 Pro out now. Lots of games that work with it. On the whole, it is an improvement over the base PS5, and you would at least expect that. But unless you've got the biggest, fanciest TVs in the market, you might not experience it. Kirk, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.